Hey everybody, welcome back to another EDH video. Today's video we're talking about Tergrid, God of Fright. This is a deck tech, one of the 32 deck challenges. This is my fourth monocolored deck, Tergrid. It's honestly one of my least favorite decks to play, mainly because I play 1v1 and I don't really like to I don't think people want to watch me just discard Tyler's entire hand and just get his hand every time. And it's kind of boring to play and just kind of does the same thing every time. I think a lot of decks do, but this one's just more grindy, and not a lot of people like to play against it, which is another reason why I don't like to play it. But Tergrid is a 5 mana, 3 generic, 2 black, legendary god. Has menace, and whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-target permanent or discards a card, or a permanent card, you may put that card from the graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. And she's a 4/5, and she has a flip side artifact for 3 generic and a black, which is not what the deck's about, but we're just going to cover it anyways. It's tap, target player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice an online permanent or discard a card. And then you can pay 4 and untap Tergrid's Lantern. And we're never going to use this card, so it's not really worth talking about, but I figured just show it on camera just so that people be like, what's on the other side? But they can just look it up. Anyways, that's what's on the other side. But yeah, let's get right into it. All right, first up we got Ramp, which is pretty much what I start off with every deck, but we're in mono black, so we don't really have that many choices. Most of them are rituals, like Jeweled Lotus, which is a 3 mana, add 3 mana for your commander pretty much. It'll just help us ramp out Tergrid even faster. Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, stereotypical things you throw on pretty much every commander deck. If it's not in there, what are you doing? Probably in mono green, honestly, if you don't have it in there. But anyways, Bubbling Muck. It's 1 mana, lets our swamps tap for an additional black, which is basically the high tide of black. And then we have Dark Ritual. It's a ritual, it's in the name. Jet Medallion just does medallion things, makes our black spells cost 1 less to cast. It's not really that much of a ramp, but it's okay. Removal, I don't really run that much removal in here because it's black, but also I just like to discard everybody's hands. Elspeth's Nightmare, not really that good of removal. Lets us destroy a target power 2 or less, and then also lets us discard stuff, and then lets our opponents discard stuff and exile target opponent's graveyard. Damnation, do I really need to explain that one? Everybody knows that card. Playcrafter, again, do I really need to explain it? Rankle lets us lets each player discard a card, each player draw a card, lose a life, and each player sacrifice a creature, so it's kind of removal. Toxic Deluge is just a good board wipe, and Inscription of Ruin is, you can destroy a target creature for mana cost 3 or less, or make somebody discard cards. Next up we got Draw, kind of, sort of. It's not really Draw. Dark Deal, it's kind of like Wheel, 3 mana wheel, pretty much. Unhinged makes somebody discard a card, and I also draw a card. And then Waste Not, we're going to be making people discard a lot, so we're going to be getting mana, zombies, and card draw off that. It is 2 mana, but we also have to make people discard stuff. Next up we got Geth's Grimoire. Makes whenever somebody discards, we draw. And then Peer into the Abyss, so we can just draw half of our library. And I mean, if we have like 5 HP, might as well just peer into the abyss ourselves, because like it's only half our life, Next up, we got discard, kind of. Discard pretty much every card in the deck. We got Cat Burglar, 4 mana, tap 3 mana, and target player chooses a card and discards it. And then we have Aspect of Lamry. Each player or target opponent discards 2 cards whenever it enters. And Arcane of Cruelty enters or attacks target opponent, sacrifice a creature. And then Court of Ambition gives us Monarch, and if we're the Monarch, they discard 2, and if we're not the Monarch, they discard 1. Bloodhusk Ritualist, they discard a card for each time we kicked it. Bad Deal makes us draw cards, and each opponent discards 2 cards, and each player loses 2 life, so we draw there. Davriel, -1, target player discards a card, and whenever they discard, if we have 1 or fewer, it deals 2 damage to them. Corpse Traders, sacrifice creature, target opponent reveals the hand, you choose a card, and they discard it. And then Coercion, target reveal, they just discard stuff. Devour Intellect, target opponent discards card. We can also pick it if it's Treasure Spit to cast it. And then Delphi Mind Ripper, 4 mana, sacrifice it. Player chooses 3 cards and discards it. And then Duress, target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land from it, and then that player discards it. Deadeye Tormentor, 3 mana, enters. If you attack with a creature this turn, target opponent discards a card. Whenever Death Shaman dies, target opponent discards a card. Enemy of Enlightenment, at the beginning of your upkeep, each player discards a card. And then Drill Bit, a Spectacle, somebody's been dealt damage. You can choose a non-land card from somebody's hand, they discard it, and Divest. Target player reveals their hand, you choose an artifact or creature, and that player discards that card. Grief, enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals their hand, you choose a non-land card, that player discards it. You can also do it for free. Elvish Doomsayer, whenever it dies, each opponent discards a card. Dusk Mangler, whenever you cast a spell, sacrifice a creature, discard a card, or pay for life. Whenever it enters, each player sacrifices a creature, loses 4 life, or discards a card. Inquisition of Kozilek, 1 mana. Target player reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. Mana value 3 or less. That player discards a card. Go blank. Target player discards 2 cards. Entropic Spectre deals damage. They discard cards. Lay Bare the Heart reveals their hand to non-legendary, non-land card from it. Ill-Gotten Gains. Each player discards his or her hand, then returns 3 cards from the graveyard to her hand. Hopeless Nightmare enters each opponent, discards a card. Mindsizer, whenever it dies, each player discards their hand. Genji, the Midnight Sky, whenever it dies, each opponent discards 2 cards. Loses life, and then Inscription of Ruins. Target opponent discards 2 cards, which is the one we care about the most. We can also recur stuff and make them like kill stuff. Myojin or Night Reach. Divinity counters. Each opponent discards his hand, his or her hand. Mind Shatter X. Target player discards X random cards. Mind Rot. Discard 2 cards. Target player does. Night Snare. Say pretty much discards that card or 2. Whatever. Monomania. Target player chooses a card in his or her hand and discards the rest. Myers Troll 1 mana reveals any number of cards from his or her hand equal to the number of swamps, and that you choose one. That player discards a card. Persecute. Choose color. Target player reveals his or her hand and discards all cards of that color from it. So if they're mono, that's pretty good. Nizumi Short Fang. Target opponent discards a card. If they have no cards in hand, you flip it. Nizumi Informant. Whenever it enters, each opponent discards a card. Rankle's Prank goes along with Rankle. You can choose one or more, and each player will discard 2 cards, lose for life, or sacrifice 2 creatures, which are all good for us. Whenever Orzhov Rocketeer deals damage, each player or that player discards a card. And whenever a player casts a spell, that player discards a card. Siphon Mind. Whenever each player discards a card, you just draw a card for each card that's discarded this way. Pretty good there. Rankle does, we've talked about it already. Plague Crafter, we talked about it already. It enters, does sacrifice things, also discard things if they don't have anything to sacrifice, so it's good for us either way. Thoughtseize, we lose to life, and they discard a card pretty much for 1 mana. And Sangromancer, whenever a creature opponent controls die, you gain 3, and whenever an opponent discards a card, you gain 3 as well. Group of the Night, you just want it for the adventure. Unburden, 3 mana. Target player discards 2 cards. The Raven Man, you can pay 4 mana, and each opponent discards a card. Taskier's Cruelty, you can delve it, and each opponent discards 2 cards. So you can actually just do it for 1 mana if you want. Waste Not gets a lot of things off discarding cards, or your opponents at least. Torch's Cantle, target opponent reveals their hand, you choose a card from it. That player discards that card at random. Or discards that card and then a card at random, and guess more. This makes us draw cards whenever they discard. Awaken the Erstwhile. Each player discards all the cards in their hand, then create that many 2/2 black zombie creatures. Urborg Mindsucker. Sacrifice it, target opponent discards a card at random, and then Unhinged, target player discards a card from his or her hand, and then draw a card. Lands, literally we have 29 swamps and a Cabal Coffers. That's literally all you need. I mean, you could probably throw a Bajuka Bog in here, honestly, but who cares? There's not going to be much things in the graveyard. If there's anything in the graveyard, it's probably going to be a non-land, non-permanent card. Let's be honest. And who really cares? Whatever. I'm not going to completely screw my opponents. Okay, Bajuka Bug would be mean a little bit, because I already have. I have the thing that lets you search their libraries. What's it? Opposition Agent? Yeah, I forgot to put that up there, but it's going to be on screen right now. Anyways, I have that in the deck too, but I just forgot to put it in any category because I don't really know where it fits. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below that Tergrid sucks and nobody likes playing against it, and that Tergrid should be banned in every format because it sucks to play against. Nobody likes it. Peace.